Cool place.
Ice cream. That's pretty nice.
What's my house? Because I'm going to get changed.
War on her honeymoon, Joe DiMaggio.
X Factor losing.
Largest collections in Maryland. Oh, come on. Come this far to see real Hollywood.
You're going to be doing that for a long time. We're going to go to bed. They go.
What do you think, buddy?
Pretty cool.
Are you having a good 10th birthday?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Pretty good. Pretty cool. Really nice.
Where we at, buddy?
Walk of Fame,
Where at?
Hollywood, California.
Hollywood, Cal. What's up, Haley? It's a wig shop on Hollywood Boulevard. Hi guys, take a picture.
Hey, Mom? Mày đi chạy rồi, nó phải đâu rồi.
Hotel room is overlooking the Hollywood Hills. Very cool house way up there. Who knows? It could be Jack Nicholson's house.
And on Monday, he will celebrate his 100th birthday. Please welcome Tony Malinowski. 100th birthday is Tommy Lasorda. Thank you, Tony. We wish you a very happy birthday, and thank you for being with us this evening.
You look. Where we at, buddy?
On va décoller le mercredi.
The Universal Studios, Universal City.
Et on prend
Yeah.
Paris
Street.
Excited?
Studio can be picked up there at the Hollywood Ticket Outlet, just there behind me, that large kiosk right over there. And if you stop at the Hollywood Ticket Outlet and ask for the privately guided studio tour, we'll be able to take it down to our backlot sets.
Right.
Crazy marriage Springfield?
That's right. And then nuclear concert
Go get by him again.
Okay. I'll go by Mark, okay?
Okay.
Congratulations! The line's almost over. Only 45 more minutes. Just kidding. I have no idea how much longer it is. So here to entertain you are Itchy and Scratchy.
Hey, those are just two drunks you fished out of the gutter.
That's a lie!
You're fired. And leave the suit.
Get this thing off.
Go! Keep the suit!
Having
One
fun?
word of warning that may mar your otherwise enjoyable day at my park. There's a psychopathic killer on the loose. His name is Sideshow Bob, and he used to work for me.
Attention Krustyland guests.
Right
Please
here.
be aware that all flash photography and videotaping is strictly prohibited from this point on. This is a motion simulator ride involving sudden and extreme movement.
I wonder what the sign is. 'Cause I don't see it. This is the slowest course down there. This is the slowest escalator, and this is the big escalator. Thank you for renting this escalator.
We're on a mission.
Sudden tram movements and the possibility of getting wet, which is a very real possibility here today. Now I'm going to take this time to introduce the lady who's going to help me give this tour here today. She's an Oscar and Emmy Award-winning star, and I'm sure many of you have heard of her. Here she is, Hollywood A-lister, Miss Whoopi Goldberg. Take it away, Whoopi.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Universal Studio Tour. How are you?
Now, when we're driving by, or what we like to call closed sets, this means only cast and invited guests are allowed access. However, next time you come to Universal Studios Hollywood, check out our VIP experience, where you'll have the opportunity to walk around on sets that have been used for filming. And coming up on our right is our oldest soundstage on our lot. This is Soundstage 28, which was built in 1925 to house the Paris Opera House from Phantom of the Opera, starring Mr. Lon Chaney. Now, we believe Mr. Lon Chaney is still inside of this.
Aside from making memorable movies, NBC Universal has a long history of producing hit TV shows, many of which filmed right here on the Universal lot.
Our television history goes back about 70 years to the 1939 New York World's Fair, marking our first television broadcast. Now, since then, we've had hit shows like The Cosby Show, Cheers, My Name is Earl, The Office, Seinfeld, and that's just to name a few. And here at NBC Universal, we don't just own NBC. We also own channels like the Sci-Fi Channel, USA, Bravo, Telemundo, CNBC, MSNBC, the Weather Channel, Oxygen, Universal Sport, Universal HD, and NBC.com. Now, coming up on our left here in just a few seconds, we're going to get a chance to see some of our production bungalows. This is where our writers, directors, and producers like to hang out. Back in the day when we had actresses like Lucille Ball and Doris Day, these bungalows we're driving by actually used to be dressing rooms. But here to tell us more about these bungalows, here she is again, is Whoopi.
Okay, I'm back. So, did I miss anything? Did you guys see anybody famous? Well, if not, it could be because they're all inside those big sound stages or in these bungalows, which are kind of like cute little houses for writers, producers, and directors making their movies or working deals with the studios. Which gives me an idea. Excuse me. Attention, producers and directors. I have a great pitch for you. You are moving with giant monkeys. Small movies with me. You are moving with the giant monkeys. Small movies with me. Their call.
Well, if you'll take a look over to your left, you'll get a chance to see Mr. Potato Head standing outside of our Hasbro bungalow. He's standing there advertising for movies based on board games we enjoyed as children, like Candyland and Monopoly. Right next door to him, you'll see Bungalow 5195, which has a familiar profile next to the front door, profile of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, and when he worked here at Universal, that was his bungalow. Now, I know a lot of you may have heard in the news about a year ago that we did suffer a fire here at Universal that actually burned down some of our backlot area, mostly some of our sound stages, and it also burned, well, not some of our, one sound stage in particular, which was the home of Mr. King Kong. And as you can see right there in the smoke, King Kong is escaping from the fire, everyone. Why? Oh, that is violent. That is graphic. Well, we're pleased to let you all know that here is about 100 years old. We're going to drive this tram across it, which weighs 100 to maybe 200,000 pounds. Hopefully it can handle our weight. Also, we have some explosives on the bridge right now. That's because we plan on blowing up the bridge on Monday when we're filming Seabiscuit 2, The Soggy Biscuit. Pyro, okay. Whoa, I am not okay with that. Okay, please, everyone, do not use anything electronic right now. No cell phones, no pagers, no cameras, nothing like that. It might set off these explosives. Michael,
and all radios and cell phones turned off. Okay, people, clear the area. Turn off all
Who was
radios
using
and
their
cell
cell phone? Huh? Come on, fess up. Who was it? Was that somebody back there in cartoon? No, I'm just kidding, everyone. That's our collapsing bridge, and we did exactly what it was supposed to do, and collapse. And it wasn't built in 1915, like I said earlier. It's actually built in the 70s, and it can be seen in the original Bionic Woman, Murder, She Wrote, and Quantum Leap. Now in the clip I just showed you right there from Quantum Leap, there was a van that drove across our collapsing bridge, and that's what we like to call a picture car. Now a picture car is any car which is seen on screen, which really isn't that hard of a definition. Now you can tell your friends and family at home you learned something today here on my tour. Now I'm letting you know about picture cars right like manure. That's because we're going to be driving by Biff's car from Back to the Future, and right next to it is probably our most famous picture car. That's our DeLorean from our Back to the Future movies. Now the DeLorean you see right there is one of 15 DeLoreans made for our movies, and 2 of our DeLoreans were made out of wood so we could shoot the flying scenes with our DeLoreans, and we also have some of our picture cars from our Fast and the Furious movies. Now as we're sitting here looking at some of these picture cars, I'll let you know that the tram we're sitting on right now, it's actually a famous picture car.
Let's see the bullet hits. And go. Smoke. Go. Fire. Go. Okay, we're clear for a full run through. All systems check. This one's for real, guys, so watch out. And action.
Everybody needs Bebop and Rocksteady. Now they're going to take a bow for you right now. Very nice. Now show them those dance moves that I taught you. Yeah, break it down, break it down. Oh yeah, that's right. Shake what your mechanic gave ya. Because where else are you going to see cars dancing to Latin music in the streets of Tokyo, Japan? But we're going to leave the streets of Tokyo behind and head over to a jungle island off the coast of Costa Rica!
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right, we're now heading into the Jurassic Park area of our back lot. And all the set pieces you're going to see around you have been used in all of our Jurassic Park movies. Like this mobile lab coming up on our left, which can be seen in the Lost World Jurassic Park. It was dangling over a cliff with an angry Tyrannosaurus trying to knock it off of that cliff. Actually, I wouldn't like to say that Tyrannosaurus was angry. I would just like to say she was being a good mother. I mean, Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn stole her baby. If someone stole my baby, I would try to push him off the cliff as well. And I'm sure some parents out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You just have to protect your young. But we don't have to worry about dinosaur attacks today. Maybe not. Watch out for your kids! Now don't worry everyone, I just found out over the radio those were just our Spinosauruses saying hello. They can't speak, so they spit. They were just greeting us to their area of the back lot. Now in our Jurassic Park movies, weather played a very important role in creating the mood necessary for the movies. Now here in sunny Southern California, basically the only weather we get is sunshine all the time, which is boring if you ask me. So when we need to create things like rain or snow, we have to be a little creative. And I don't know why I'm telling you this information. I have access to America's favorite weatherman. You know him and love him. He's the Today's Show's Al Roker.
Forecast for the Universal Backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry in 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Middle Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street, and we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the line.
Well, looks like we have a flash flood scheduled for this area. You know, I'm no meteorologist myself, but I'm pretty sure it is not supposed to rain like this while the sun is shining. But, well, you see something new every day. Starting to hear a bit of a rumbling noise. Well, it's because of the flood Al Roker was talking about. Watch out back there in cars 3 and 4. Watch out up here in cars 1 and 2. The flood's heading this way. Well, that wasn't a real flood, but you might have seen this flood in the movie Big Fat Liar starring Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes. You cannot run a Wildcat!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And there's poor Mr. Paul Giamatti getting washed away by our flood right there. Now we're heading over to another part of our Old Mexico area. And this part of Old Mexico can be seen in Paramount's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's also been seen in hit TV shows like ER and Monk. Because when Monk went to Mexico, he actually went right here to our Old Mexico. But we're going to leave our Old Mexico area behind right now. And we're going to head over into the Wild West. Oh, bam, 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 bam. They won't let me carry real guns on the tour, so I have to use my fingers, everybody. Now, welcome to 6 Points, Texas. Back in the silent film era, this part of our lot got a lot more work than it does here today. But here to tell us more about 6 Points and how it got its name, here's Whoopi. Bam!
Did you know that more movies have been shot on these streets than any other spot in the world? Now, during the silent film era, they could shoot up to 6 movies at the same time, one on each one of these 6 streets. That's why it's called 6 Points, because each street had its own bank, its own sheriff's office, its own saloon, and its own hotel. Now, it turns out that this town ain't big enough for both of us. So get on back onto your tram stagecoach thing and get the heck out of here. Go on. Go on.
All right, partners, I guess we've outstayed our welcome here at 6 Points, Texas, so we're going to have to mosey on down the street. But if you look around you, you'll see some of the doors here are bigger and some of them are smaller, and this was all done for a reason. Now, our smaller doors, those were for our heroes to stand in front of so they would look big and brawny on camera. And our larger doors, those were for our damsels to stand in front of so they would look desperate, vulnerable, and in need of help. Little movie magic there for you. Now, coming up on our left, you're going to get a chance to see a strange circular contraption. That is our underwater tank. Now, what we do there in our underwater tank is we take our actors and we throw them inside of that tank, hopefully full of water beforehand, and then we film from the hatches located on the outside of our underwater tank, keeping our camera perfectly safe and dry. Now, for all of our Seinfeld fans out there, if you remember the episode where Kramer was taking a dip in New York's East River, he was actually taking a dip right there in our underwater tank, which I'm sure is more sanitary. And while we're on the subject of New York, if you'll take a look over to your right now, you'll see our New York Central Park, which is a lot smaller than the real one, yes, I know. But we've made this park look like New York Central Park or any park in the world we want to by using CGI, computer-generated imagery. And we'll take stock footage of the real New York Central Park, then we'll take footage of our actors right here in our park, and then we'll put those 2 images together, and voila! People who are sitting in LA are now magically sitting in New York thanks to movie magic. Now, we use CGI a lot in our movies to create monsters, to create cities. It even makes it so we can go out in space. And here's some examples of us using CGI in the movies. may be over. Maybe not. Look out on your right, everybody! Down. That doesn't even make sense. Michael, we're going to have to go buy wardrobe and get me a new pair of pants. I had an accident knee. I should not have said that on the microphone. Anyway, while we were in there suffering at 8.0 on the Richter scale, my whole life flashed before my eyes. I'm going to tell you something I learned from my life, everyone. I will eat anything as long as it has ranch dressing on it. It's true, even dog food. Sometimes you just have to ranch it up a notch. Who's with me out there, huh? Yeah, I know. All right, anyway, we're going to head over to Amity Island right now. A nice little New England town that's been terrorized by a man-eating shark. We're not going to have to worry about shark attacks today on the tour because they've caught the shark and they have him up on display on our right here. The shark's a lot smaller than I thought he was going to be, but you know, a man-eating shark's a man-eating shark nonetheless. Now, my good buddy George is in the water right now making sure it's safe to reopen the beach, and I don't think it is because we did not catch the right shark. And I'm going to have to warn my good buddy George, especially because George owes me $20. George, buddy, get out of the water and get into your boat, George. George, no, I'm never going to get that money back. Well, George was a good man, and he had a lot of guts, everyone. And, oh, there they are. Ooh. Cover the eyes of the small children. They do not need to see that. Hey, let's move back here behind this flammable gasoline in high voltage. We should be perfectly safe back here. Now, we have some bait that's attached to that yellow barrel out there. Hopefully the shark will take it. We can go on our way. Yep, just like I planned. Oh, he's taking the pier, too. They don't make them like they used to, folks. Whoa, great balls of fire. Our pier is on fire right now. Well, this isn't good. First I lost 20 bucks, the pier is on fire, and I have no idea where that shark is right now. Now everyone, you just met Bruce the Mechanical Shark, who is a very talented shark. You look over to your right and see if there's something you know in the shark that a man can do. That's swim the backstroke. Yeah. Which was also a popular dance before I was born, but let's talk more about the movie Jaws. Now, when they were making that movie, they had some problems with Bruce. As a matter of fact, he sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on the first day of filming, and then they started to nickname the problem production flaws. But here to tell us more about their problems with Bruce, here's the director and the man around these parts, Steven Spielberg.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio links. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited. The shark worked well enough for a while there. So I really hate the shark a lot.
There's Steven Spielberg, shirtless in a pair of Daisy Dukes in the mouth of Bruce the Mechanical Shark. You might be wondering why he keeps calling the shark Bruce. Well, that's because Mr. Spielberg named the shark after his attorney. Now, if you look over to your right now, you'll see our chicken ranch, made famous by a movie starring Dolly Parton and the best little house in Texas. And due to censorship,